Conklin and Company with 13 ABC Action News anchor Lee Conklin. First with what's happening behind the headlines. And Take 3, our panel of political analysts.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome into another edition of Conklin and Company. This week on the program, the Romney tape and that 47%, what the GOP nominee is trying to explain to the 100%. And ready or not, here they come again. The presidential campaign's descending on Northwest Ohio on the same day this coming week. This Wednesday promises to be a very interesting day and week around these parts. 13 ABC's Bill Horman catching up with Joe the Plumber. Turns out he is still running for the 9th District congressional seat, despite the fact most people in the now very expansive 9th District really haven't heard or seen very much of him lately. We're going to salute a local charitable organization that does so much for so many. Tell you about a big fundraiser, but the emphasis really could be on fun. Local spin on Dancing with the Stars. But first, the final flight for 2012 for Honor Flight of Northwest Ohio. Here to talk about the great moments from this year gone by and looking ahead as well. David Chilson, board member of Honor Flight of Northwest Ohio. David, great to have you on.
Great to be here.
Final flight coming up.
Final flight of the season, yes.
2012, but this one's different. They're all fantastic in their own way, right?
Yes.
But this one's different because for the first time, predominantly Korean War veterans are going to Washington.
That is correct. There'll be a total of 49 Korean War veterans on Wednesday's flight and 35 World War II veterans, so a total of 84 veterans altogether.
And they're all so special. In their own
indeed.
way. And we've been there for many of them. Certainly when you get back, you send them off. We've been in Washington at the memorial itself. One of the best things I think Northwest Ohio has seen happen here in the last 5-6 years.
I agree.
With being able to send our veterans to the memorials. Why did it take this long to get as many Korean War vets on board? Because they're getting up in age as well. Tell us
yes, they
about
are.
that.
Well, there's been so many World War II veterans who have applied to go on our honor flights. And this year, the April, May, and June flights, as well as the August flights, have been predominantly World War II veterans. But there have been many Korean War veterans who have been patiently waiting since putting in their applications as far back as 2008. And now they're finally getting their chance to go and see their memorial, the Korean War Memorial, as well as the several others that we visit, the World War II Memorial, the Vietnam Wall, and Arlington National Cemetery in particular.
Really an incredible day for those folks.
Yes, it is.
Take us through a day. You've been on a number of them, I imagine.
Yes,
right?
I have.
On those flights.
Yes.
Just take us through it for you.
Well, the veterans and their guardians get to the Grand Air Hangar at 6 a.m. in the morning. They check in. They get their shirts, their ball caps, other information about the flight. They get breakfast, and then we board the aircraft and take off normally at about 8:30 in the morning. We get to Washington Dulles Airport about an hour later, and then we go on luxury tour buses to the World War II Memorial, get lunch there, spend time around the mall and the reflecting pool, go to the World War II Memorial, the Korean War Memorial, the Vietnam Wall. From there we go to the Air Force Memorial, the Iwo Jima Marine Corps Memorial.
It was a busy, busy day.
It is. And then we culminate by going through Arlington National Cemetery and then to the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier and watch the changing of the guard. And then back to Dulles, fly back to the Grand Air Hangar at Toledo Express Airport, and it's a wonderful welcome home ceremony for the veterans, and many of them are getting, for the first time, the kind of welcome home and thank you that they so richly deserve.
And in this case, you know, the Korean War, kind of the forgotten war in all of this.
Yes.
We hear so much about the World War II Memorial, the work that went into it, but the Korean War Memorial was built before that, right? Is that correct?
Correct. I believe it was completed in 1994. It was dedicated in early 1995, and these veterans are so deserving to see their memorial as well as the other memorials in Washington.
How about the efforts through a tough economy to raise the money to send these heroes to Washington? Is it, you know, where we are now, where we've been in 2008 when the first flight went out? I mean, kind of when the Great Recession began.
Yes.
And where are we today, David?
Well, this flight coming up on Wednesday will be our 27th flight overall. Up until now, we have taken 1,157 veterans overall. Northwest Ohio has just been so forthcoming in terms of contributions, donations to Honor Flight Northwest Ohio. Civic organizations, schools, churches, companies, individuals. Just been such an outpouring of support and funding to go along with that, and that's what's allowed us to continue to do what we do.
You're a military man yourself.
I'm retired, yes, from the Navy.
Emotional day for you when you go?
Very much so.
I mean, you know, explain if you can the emotions that go through it for someone who has served.
Mm-hmm. Well, these men and women who served during World War II and now during Korea sacrificed and gave so much for our country, and they are deserving of the honor that they get during this day. A highlight of the day, both at Toledo and then in Dulles, is all the children who turn out. Many of them are in Boy Scout, Girl Scout, Cub Scout, Brownie uniforms, and it's very touching for the veterans. It's very touching for me as well. You do see a full range of emotions among the veterans during the day. You see smiles, you see tears, and they open up so much with one another. They share their experiences. They really bond in the period of the one-day trip.
It's got to be an amazing day. Thank you for your service, and we thank everyone who will take another honor flight this coming Wednesday. It's going to be interesting because you have Mitt Romney and President Obama both coming into Northwest Ohio on Wednesday when
yes, we do.
Some of our war heroes are heading on out. It's going to be very interesting at Toledo Express. Congratulations, David Chilson.
Thank you, Lee, and thank you for the support that Channel 13 has given us. Like I mentioned, Zach Pitts is always out in the morning at the Grand Air Hangar.
Reporter, right?
And when we get to the World War II Memorial, more often than not, Jacqueline Policastro is there, and we appreciate so much what the two of them have done for our organization. Yeah,
Jacqueline Policastro, our Washington Bureau Chief. We thank you for all the work that Honor Flight does.
Thanks very much. Lee, so much.
All right, David Chilson, board member of Honor Flight of Northwest Ohio. When we come back, we'll salute another outstanding organization in the area, Catholic Charities, right after this.